Hey, YouTube. So, just trying to figure all this out. It's the first time running a stream, so I want to check recents. Hey, can you see the link?
No.
In the comments?
It doesn't show up on my PC on YouTube, but it shows up in my app on my phone.
That's weird.
I don't see any link in the chat on my phone. It just says live chat.
Okay, I'll take a picture of like I did before, and you can log it in. Okay. I'll text it to you. Technical difficulties, please stand by. So this is my first, so we'll figure this out. So the plan for this is basically to show kind of what I'm working on, kind of chat with some of my friends. Looks like I have 3 viewers right now. And then to basically talk about Gravely's and Kohler tractors and engines and stuff like that, but kind of keep it kind of a more of a questions and answers type of thing regarding Gravely's and stuff. But we'll see. Oh, here comes someone add to stream. Hey. So you can you see it? Can you tell if it's on YouTube?
It shows there must be a lag or something, because now it shows up on the.
Yeah, there definitely is a lag. Definitely is a lag. So we are live then.
Yeah.
Good.
There must be a lag or something.
Yeah, turn that down. Mute that down.
I clicked on it. I just muted it.
Yeah. That happens all the time. Like whenever I log into Ken's, he's like, someone's always yelling, hey, turn off YouTube. Hi, Gravely Man. I see your comment there. But it's good. So basically my plan for this, I think we talked about it, was basically keep it focused on Gravely's, keep it focused on Kohlers, and kind of stuff like that. So I plan on I'm going to just do this random times just to see, just kind of show live stream what I'm working on. I'll have to figure out different cameras and different mics and all that. I'm going to have my plan is to get my oldest when he actually hangs out with the family. He's actually home this weekend, but he's out with his girlfriend. But get him to set me up with I'll probably get my own Chromebook and camera and stuff like that to be able to stream, maybe stream while I'm working on these engines and stuff. So
yeah, that's cool.
But I got I don't know if we haven't really talked about it. So I did get the commercial 10. I got the thanks. I owe you that one for that crank from Rusty. So the perfect fit, and the best part about it is I don't think there's any issues with it.
That's awesome.
So I think it's just I'll plug and play and go. What was the comment you made? You said I think you made it a while ago, and it's always easier to talk to you than try to text. But about the 14 crank, because I got that engine right here.
Yeah.
You said toss the balance gears?
Yeah.
Why is that? Like, how's it gonna? What's that?
The grenading balance gears.
Yeah, well, I've heard that phrase
guaranteed to blow up your crawler after 1,000 hours or so.
Nice. What is what you call it? But then what do you use to balance it? You got to put magnets in the fly, or?
Yeah, nothing. Just no balance. It just
really.
Yeah. You really don't notice too much of a difference, to be honest with you. When it's at a high RPM, it's not a big deal. Maybe when it's idling, it's a little rougher than normal. but a lot of guys say they don't even notice any difference at all.
Really? I like
The
my
down-
my limited engineering background, you know, would say that's illogical, but
But what
you know,
it is that Kohler didn't balance the cranks and all this stuff very well. So they put those two gears in there to maybe take some of the slop out of the system.
okay.
But like, how do I say this? When you got it on a Gravely and it's hard mounted right to the transmission and everything,
Yep.
there's a lot of metal there to soak up the vibrations, I guess you'd say. Whereas, like a guy told me at the John Deere dealership, on those things they have rubber engine mounts. They call them isolators.
Yep.
That go between the block and the frame.
Yep.
And a few years ago, I went and bought one from the guy, and he said to me, he said, "Oh, those engines are pieces of junk." He says John Deere had to make these rubber isolators so that it didn't shake the whole entire machine apart. And I sit back and think about a lot of my machines, like particularly my commercial 12, it shakes like crazy. The hood is cracked like about an inch long on each side of the hood, just because it goes like this the whole time it's running, shaking. And that thing has balance gears in it, to my knowledge.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Then if that's the case, when I tear into that one, then I'll you know, I'll take your word for it and pull them out.
Yeah. The 10 didn't have them, right?
Nope.
Yeah. And you know, there's like two little castings in the block. There's needle bearings that go in them.
Yep.
And there's like a little stub shaft in there.
Okay.
And those things, I guess theoretically, if you were going to put them back in, you'd have to replace all that stuff.
Okay.
You get one little bit of sloppiness in there, then they start to go like this and whatnot, and then they grenade, you know?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the video of my 814 that had the grenaded balance gears in it?
No.
So I
got
yeah.
It's just like you're pulling them out. They're just piles of just gears.
Yeah, and the guy sold me this tractor, and he said it locked up. He was just mowing and it locked up or something. And I don't know why it locked up, but I got it running, and I went like 2 minutes, and it's all on video, and the thing seized up and blew up while it was on video. And it turns out the balance gear was in the bottom of the oil pan, and that little dipper on the bottom of the rod came down and hit it, destroyed the rod.
Yep.
Then it just smoked the whole thing after that. But
nice.
Yeah.
No, someone was telling me that the 10 is the most balanced Kohler of the older ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll put my money on the 8.
Okay.
181. Out of all the engines I have, I think that's the best running one I've ever seen.
Really?
Smoothest too. Like the one in the 408.
The funny thing is, so this 10 here, so I have that's my first yellow one, but then remember we talked my other yellow one, which was a painted red.
Yeah.
So when I started scraping this, so that once I get this one done, maybe I'll work on that one as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we talked about, like, you know, I started writing down all my projects that I have upcoming in my head of what I want to work on, and it's, you know, the list gets long, and yours is probably 10 times longer than mine.
Probably 20, 30 times longer.
Did you start that barn yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, you're killing me. Even I'm dying for it.
Yep, me too. Yep, it's on the radar. I got to work on that. Hopefully, in the next couple weeks.
Are you gonna put space for like like maybe a Bridgeport or a lathe or something like that?
I don't know. It's just it all depends on how much money I want to spend. You know,
at least you know what. But putting the space there probably don't cost that much money, as opposed to not. You know what I mean? Like, I would just make it go for the plan of making it a workshop, because that's what I would do. And if I was to, either get a new property or blow out this shed, I would literally, just go for the gusto and just be like, okay, I'm running 220 to it. Not 3-phase, but 220. And then just, for the Bridgeports and the stuff that require a 3-phase, just get the converter. Yeah. It's not as good, but for the, the hacks that we are.
Yeah, Yeah, my plan is to make it like 50 by 30, so it's going to be pretty big. So
Wow.
somewhere in there, I could put whatever the heck I wanted to, basically, you know.
Yep. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just I got to figure out the price tag is what the bottom line is.
Well, you know, what you could do is you could just pour a slab. You know what I mean? Just get a slab done.
Yeah.
And then you just, you know, get the slab oversized because, you know, it sucks working on grass and mud.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you know, say you make the slab, just I'm picking numbers, 70 by 50,
Yeah.
and you're eventually going to have a, you know, a 30 by 60 shed or something like that.
Yeah.
You just have over area to park and do work and not be in mud.
Do you remember the pavilion at Kama where you eat lunch?
Yeah.
It's basically going to be like that is my plan.
Yep.
Got the
Just wide
neighbor
open.
that built that up there too.
Yeah.
It was 50 by 30. And I want to do exactly the same thing basically, except for maybe make it 10 feet tall instead of 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then I'll just put sides on it.
Yeah.
More like a pole barn would be, you know?
Yep.
Then I won't need any foundation. They just put in footings with sonotubes for the thing. So.
Yeah. So you're gonna work on any projects today, this afternoon, or are you gonna go work again?
Too cold out.
It's actually not as bad. It was tough this morning. Like I'm like, you know, I when I started videoing this morning, because I took the plow off the 18G and then I put the core aerator on it and just you know buzzed around the yard and did that. But when I was taking the plow off, man, you know, I had to come back in and you know use the lights and heat up the hands again. It was just like it's ridiculous.
I got some grass that's starting to grow. It's getting crazy.
Really? Well, mine's actually turning green, what little there is, but nowhere near to height wise. Just starting to show green, excuse me.
Yeah.
But
my first project this year is going to be taking the flywheel off my 20G to see what happened with the magnets. And
how do you've bonded those before, right?
I never have, but this one here, I had a problem with the starter one day, and I took the off the left side of the engine. I took the the shroud off of that, and it was covered with broken magnets stuck to the metal. So I'm like, oops, that explains why it won't charge. I don't know if it's one magnet that fell out or if all 6 of them did or what, you know. Nice. But that's project number 1 this year.
What was I going to say? Hey, I'll have to, we'll talk about it, but remember that swap meet? I'm hoping they have it in May.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we'll have to, hook up for that or something.
Yeah, that's good.
But I'm hoping Kama as well this year in the fall, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I saw some kind of message that said maybe they would only do it 2 days and not 3 days. 2's better than none, though.
Yeah. I'll if it's on again, I'll definitely come out.
There's supposed to be a show. I don't remember the exact date. It's like May 15th or something around there. And it's up in Vernon or Towland, up that way.
Yep.
I was thinking about maybe heading up to that one. Be the first one of the year.
Nice. Yeah, I got to see if I haven't heard. Have you heard of Zagray's is having a show this year?
I haven't heard yet. Yeah, I haven't heard.
What's the vaccination schedule for Connecticut?
Right now, pretty much everybody over 16 is eligible right now.
Good.
Yeah, that just opened up on the 1st for everybody. Good. So.
Yeah, my oldest had it.
Yeah.
He had COVID, so he's still within the 90. They say there's a 90-day window that you can't re-get it. He's still within that 90 days. I got vaccinated, so I'm already out. But
that's good.
Yeah, no, I'm I got to pick and choose what depending on what the weather is what I'm working on. So I got the 18G ran well. That thing is a beast. Did I ever tell you the weight on that in comparison to a Kubota? It's only like 80 pounds lighter than a subcompact.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I think the Kubota is like say like 9. I could look it up. It's on Tractor Stats or whatever, the tractor data. I think
Yeah.
it's like 920 or 950, and the
Mhm.
Gravely is like 867 or something like that. So
Yeah,
it's
there's a lot of weight in those things, huh?
yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy. And I just, every time I drive it, I just, don't. My one complaint about it, and maybe it's, maybe it's not an issue for you, is like on my Sears, because it's a belt and pulley, you can feather it, right? You
Yeah.
can, you can step on the brake stop and then like ease it up.
Yeah.
With this, it's like a snap in or a snap out. But because I've heard a lot of people say, don't, you got to snap it in place and leave it, or you're just going to burn out your clutches. Like, how fast do those clutches burn out?
Well, I've never burnt one out, and I slipped the clutch, as they say, put it that way.
Okay. All right. So I don't worry about it as much.
I think it's different with the G series and the 800 series, where the clutch isn't also controlling the PTO, as opposed to like a walk behind where that clutch or the high low is doing the PTO. But you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
But you can buy those clutch linings pretty cheap. But
yeah, I have a couple on watch on eBay. They're like $50.
Yeah, I don't think for the low hours that you and I put on them that we could really kill them. You know what I mean?
No. I think you told me, or someone made the comment of just swapping them. So I basically took the forward and put it on reverse, and the reverse on the forward. So now my forward's got a lot more meat on it.
Yeah, that's a good plan. And my last year, my $25 812, remember that thing?
Yeah.
The clutch on there is so thin that it's like, I don't know, it's got to be like 1/8 of an inch or a little bit more, 3/16 of an inch. There's not much left to it.
Yep.
I put that on the reverse side, and I said, I'm not going to spend $50 on a clutch on a $25 tractor. I'll milk it out a little more.
Nice. I one of these days I want to maybe snag a 400 series from you. I think that's kind of the one that I, because it's still the, it's still kind of the L model.
Yeah.
It's not the 800. If the 800, if I'm, as much as I would love to have it, I'm not, because I got the G. It's, but the 400 series, because it's kind of the first step from the L's and or the Kohler walk behinds. I kind of like it.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun. I got a guy that's messaging me about an Onan on a 430 right now, and how to fix the ignition.
Oh, okay.
And I got one that I acquired about 2 years ago. I've never touched it, and it just needs an ignition on it, I think. But,
that's the other thing. I have to touch base with you at some point, is the different. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Give me a second. Oh, okay. Here, why don't we do this? This is why I want to do this stream, is kind of these live action shots. Give me a second. Hold on. All right. There we go. Let me see if I can see. All right. If you see, yeah, we won't be as clunky as we are this time for the next one, right, Ralph?
Yeah.
So this stator, this is the other. Maybe you can explain this to me.
Yeah.
Get this crap out of the way. All right, so you have, this stator and this COM10.
Yeah.
You have this one on the one that's on the table.
Yeah.
So do they wire differently, or they wire pretty much the same?
One question for you. The one on the engine, does it have 3 wires coming out of it or 2?
2.
Okay. Yeah, so basically over time.
This one has 3 or 4 actually.
Okay.
If you look at it, it's so I got the one that goes to the plug.
Yeah.
2 that I think go to the rectifier, right?
Yeah.
and then one that goes to either, what is it, the condenser or the
The
coil?
points and condenser, yeah. Okay, so here's the difference. The one that's on your engine right now, that's just a normal stator with 2 wires that come out to make AC voltage.
Yep.
And the one in your hand
Yep.
also has the under flywheel magneto ignition on it,
Right.
whereas the one on your tractor would just use a 12-volt coil. But there's also a third version that looks kind of like the one on your tractor, but it has 3 wires coming out of it. And that's used for a breakerless ignition sometimes also. So they're all the ones you have there are kind of old school, and most guys junk those and put the newer ones on there.
Yep.
But if it works, you don't have to junk it, but they don't make those kind anymore. That's the problem, you know?
So what would you recommend, getting rid of these just go new?
If
Or
it works, I would keep it. But I had a 10 horse just like that once that was with that old school stator, and it didn't work. It was shorted out. If it's got continuity to ground, it's done basically, you know?
Okay.
So if you take one of the outputs and just touch it to ground with your continuity tester, if it beeps, you're done. That's my understanding, you know?
Okay. I'll check that first. But I guess, what's the replacement for it if I can't?
The replacement's a newer style one, which is a 15 amp stator, but just it's newer than that. It's the more modern style, you know.
How much those run?
You can buy them used for like $20 all day long.
Oh, good.
$20-$30, but I believe you need a different flywheel is the problem, because the way the magnets on the flywheel interface with is different. It's different diameter, I believe, you know.
Okay. So then I
The
want
one
to get
that
this
I
working.
changed-
I don't need to, I'll have to check. I'll check what you say on if any of them on all these. I'll just have to check for ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them are pretty, they're pretty dirty like this.
Yeah. I used some CRC electric cleaner and cleaned them up with that.
Yeah, I got that.
But the I have a video on it somewhere, but the one that I changed to the modern style was kind of funny. But this kid was selling a Cub Cadet Kohler. I think it was a 14, but they're all the same. It doesn't matter. And I got it for $25, and it was complete, but it had a blown rod or something.
Oh, cool.
So I took the flywheel off of it, the bearing plate, and the stator, and I switched the whole thing onto it, and that did it, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, I think the bearing plates at some point changed. Is how those 4 screws that attach that thing to it, they might have a different spacing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got to work on mine. I showed you the pictures of my rusty 10 horse.
Yeah.
I want to get back to that.
That's the one that you said, like, it's just totally, spark plug left off and all that.
Yep, outside for 25 years with no spark plug in it.
That's brutal.
Isn't it?
Brutal. I don't know. I don't know. Like you've known me well enough now that my pet peeve is leaving. I don't like anything really in the elements, and then definitely don't like them in the elements without a tarp on them.
Yeah.
Like even my L8 that I had out with the snow can on it, I had, what I've learned actually works really well is tarping it, and then I use the spring clamps on like all different locations just to keep it taut, and that actually really works well. I actually really, really like that.
That's good.
That's my new kind of trick to. I used to just put logs and stones and all that crap, but I went and bought a bunch of those spring clamps at Harbor Freight, and I've just started using those, and it's actually worked out really, really well.
I had some that I like, my Dutz Alice, which used to be my little baby, but I had that outside under a tarp for years, and all the moisture from the ground would come up under the tarp, and I think it rusted it out just as bad as it would have if it wasn't even covered, So it's like all pointing to that barn being built.
Well, the problem is when you, I see what you're saying. Even the stuff in my shed, it's not getting the rain on it, but it is, to your point, on the going from the really cold nights to a warm day, it gets condensation over it like there's no tomorrow. That's what happened to that 14 horse crank I had that I paid. You know, it was new old stock, and the thing was pristine. And I came out here one day, and I was just, my eyes are just like, you know, I wanted to cry because the thing was just covered in just surface rust. But I was just like, and even the top of the block was just rusted over because I filed it really good, but I didn't put any oil or anything on it, and the whole thing was just rust.
My engine builder guy basically told me that you got to douse everything with a ton of WD-40.
Yep. That's my new best friend these days. Like, so I literally spray it on everything.
He's got like a fogger, like a like a spray, like a pump tank thing. You spray it on there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Well, listen, brother, I gotta run. It's
me too.
It's we'll talk this week.
Sounds good.
Let's see, looking forward to some videos from you soon.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, man.
See ya.
Talk to you soon.